So you're looking at your Oscar ballot, and you get to the hair and makeup category, and you have to decide which film to choose. It can be kind of difficult to know exactly what's worth an Oscar, but we have some experts in the hair and makeup field here with us today to give us a little insight into their craft. The question really is, what makes hair and makeup Oscar-worthy?
One of the things that I find to be most essential is how well that body of work blends into the storyline and doesn't pull you away from the story. Of course, some makeup creations are going to be a little more elaborate and a little more fantastical than others. So you sort of take it on a case-by-case, basis.
And it also has to be true to the character. If the character is aging, then there has to be a very subtle transformation, unless there's a definite time cut. But it has to show what that character is maybe going through, has gone through. And if it's innovative, that's even better.
Sometimes the really obvious ones are the ones that'll get voted because people can see the makeup. And we're trained to make our work so subtle and natural, like with the application of wigs. People don't even notice sometimes that the actress is wearing a wig, and they think you just run in with a brush and then you sit down all day. We have a lot of work to do.
That's
so
huge.
The real subtle work is the hardest, but the voters never really understand because they can't see it.
One of the tools that we always use, or a question that we always use in the Academy, is, without this makeup in this film, do you still have a film? Do you still have a story? Does it still work without the makeup? And that is a true sign of a makeup that helps move the story and helps the audience member sort of become a part of that story emotionally as well as visually. So I think if you were to look at the movies that are being nominated and then say to yourself, if this makeup didn't exist, would the story still work? And there's great examples in the history of filmmaking where it's just very obvious that without the makeup, the movie doesn't work.
Oh, the picture right there.
Oh, a Wizard of Oz. I mean, without the Tin Man, without the Scarecrow, the movie doesn't work. You can't just have three guys there.
Are there a couple of suggestions each of you would give to your average movie fan about what to look for when they're watching these movies and want to pick out, judge what's best in hair and makeup?
It seems very sort of elementary, but watch all three movies.
Yes.
It does a disservice to everybody if you haven't watched all three movies that are being nominated and give yourself an educated vote.
That's absolutely true.
Christian's right. Some people have a lot more publicity, and don't get caught up in the publicity. Really use your own judgment.
But those three movies are all deserving of an Oscar. That's why they're there. Not one is deserving. They're all deserving. But one's going to walk away with the award. The
work, to me, usually stands out if it's in harmony with everything else, with the faces and with the lighting, but at the same time is really beautiful and brings something, is like a clever twist to bringing some sort of style to the movie without taking over the story.
There's that, and they have to be believable.
Yeah.
Hair and makeup can either make your character very believable, where it propels you through the story, or it can be a distraction. And if it's a distraction,
that's a bad...
And always keep in mind that if you watch the movie and you don't know what makeup that you're voting for, it's probably that good. Because you don't know that there's makeup. Yeah. It's probably, and if it's being nominated, there's a reason why.
Is that a good rule of thumb, if you're not in this field, to say, if you're asking yourself, how did they do that, and you're impressed by that? Why did they do that? How did you do that? Is that a good rule of thumb?
That's a great
compliment.
That's a great compliment when someone says to you.
It's like being a magician and watching a magic trick that melts your brain. You want to know how that was done, and yet you appreciate what it took to get there. So yeah, that's exactly the same dynamic for us.
Great. Well, I want to thank you all for being here and walking us through your process.
Thank you.
And now that you know a little more about makeup and hairstyling, you can use that expertise and go to Oscar.com, fill out a My Picks game ballot, and share your predictions with friends.